Okay, so I want to talk about Mara stock and primarily my view on a big trade I want to make on it real soon. I'm going to explain to you guys what that looks like and how this can potentially unfold to be a spectacular trade, very profitable. But before I do explain this to you guys, please reminder that everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. It is not me telling you guys what to do, so please do your own research and due diligence. I just like to share with you guys what I'm doing. But I've been focused on this for a while. I've been planning this sort of earlier this year or even last year because I'm like, okay, I really want to short Mara stock in the next bear cycle to capture the price coming back down to $5, below $5 potentially, but for sure like below 6, 7, 8. Like all that's very, very, very possible. For sure below 8 is possible. But here's the thing, if we look at Mars stock on the bigger picture, regardless of what Bitcoin is doing, it doesn't have complete influence on Mars stock. So if you guys look at it, please excuse me so I can get this on the screen. Every bull cycle top is higher, and it looks like we're starting. I mean, the stock can't go down to zero. There's still value behind it. At the end of the day, they have assets they hold on to on their balance sheet. So seeing this go below $2 into the ones is very much still possible. But 4 to 5 is really my low sweet spot that I'm really focusing on, and that's gonna be the target for this. But every cycle is lower. What does that mean for now? Well, since I haven't really been talking about this too much because obviously the price can change a whole lot, and I wasn't sure if we were gonna hold a rally into the end. That's why I was giving a lot of these trade top take profit zones ahead of time every time I do. But that was when we were on the way up. We finally had the downtrend invalidated. Some of my previous Mara videos I kept saying many times. This is the invalidation point. This swing low, due to it being inconsistent and what seems to be the start of a top forming, well, it's just lower than the previous swing low, right? It's not like a micro one like this. These are all like bigger moves, bigger waves. This was one that was actually completed, unlike a lot of this small noise. These are waves that are yet to be completed. This one is a lot more easier to notice. But regardless, I said this is a validation point of when I am no longer looking for this uptrend to continue, and instead I'm looking for lower prices, and then from there I will trade as I see fit. But with that being said, this year the price did what it had to do. We had 3 overall really amazing trade opportunities, averaging like 30% just on the equity alone, per trade. And we had accumulation, 2 chances, take profit, accumulation, take profit, accumulation, take profit. There was a lot of negative feedback of some people super discouraged and like just saying that I'm crazy to see this stock go over $20. But I said, as long as the uptrend is still alive, the uptrend is still active, I am looking for these conservative extensions based off of bigger moves, right? So, and I've shown, when I drew this, I showed you guys how I did it, and then ahead of time before this even happened. This was back in like, I don't know, check out August, skim through some August videos, and you guys will see what I'm saying. But either way, yeah, it finally broke below this. At this point, I'm looking for a downtrend. Now, this is perfect timing too, because if the bear market did not start on Bitcoin, then it's very much possible that then we can see a corrective move into this retracement, which I will explain in a bit why this is something I'm focusing on. But regardless, if you look at if this is the start of the bear, then I use this little illustration. I'm going to take this off, but that's basically what I'm looking for on the S&P, which is not what I wanted to open. Here it is, Bitcoin. I don't know what's going on. All right, but either way, as of right now, it's quite simple. Bitcoin is in a down. It's an overall bigger picture uptrend. Yes, I understand that. This is my bear market bottom potential area. I'm gonna be doing a lot of crazy buying. As right now, I'm DCAing into this one trade right here. I'm gonna explain to you guys. So if we are downtrending, regardless of this being, because in the bigger picture, if I zoom out multiple days, multiple months, you'll see that we are in an uptrend, right? But if this is like we're already like towards the end of it, it's fine. Our area up here, this was the bull market cycle top estimate, and we've went into this area. I've talked about this many times before. So at this point, if we are downtrending and there's no more new highs until the next bull cycle, well, we could be continuing down. So until we have the price confirming that it wants to go higher and potentially at least retest all-time high, we would have to see a higher low form after testing this. So it's simple, like I do it all the time. I'm gonna use a fib retracement from the low. I'm gonna follow the price higher. When the price finally drops into it, that is where I'm looking at for a potential higher low to form. But again, those are just potentials. If the trend is down right now, as you can see, and we are potentially at the end, already past the end of this bull cycle, regardless, if the trend is down, I'm looking for retracements to any short-term longs. These retracements always act as decent take profit zones, and then you can of course scale that to like partial or all. It depends, but for the position. But on this one right here, the idea is that we'll find our way up, top out. It can be exactly at 96.6, for example, or it can be somewhere within this range going up. So 96.6K and 108.9K. And then basically finding a top somewhere here, somewhere like around 100K, finding a top, and then just continuing the trend down. We are fighting this descending resistance. So we're above it a little bit, but regardless, as of right now, because the trend is down, if we have a pump within this area, it can be a chance for short-term longs to get out. Any price down can just be a shorting opportunity for just this to continue. And well, as of right now, we're just consolidating sideways. But that's what I'm looking for. Any pump higher, I'll just be keeping a close eye on it, because this does not mean we're going to continue to go up higher. But we will see, right? We will see. I'm invested in Bitcoin, and I like to DCA during these dips. So as of right now, and I'm going to continue to DCA, because any price below 100K is an amazing deal in my opinion. So I will DCA as long as we're below 100K. I'm in 100%. But if we can find a top four, I mean, if the bear market can start already, that'll be great, because then, so this area is similar, and the exact explanation I gave is very, very similar to the Mara one, where I'm looking at potential shorting. But even if Bitcoin continues to rally past that point, it doesn't mean Mara has to follow. There's a good chance Mara may not follow, and it can just reject. I usually try to keep those two charts not completely correlated when it comes to my explanations. But basically, same thing with Mara stock. That's what I'm looking for, that big trade. I want to see the price at any point. I'll keep following the price lower. I have to update this right here just a little bit. We'll do that. And if the price at any point decides to rally within this area, I am looking at trying to capture multiple different strikes within this zone. The higher the better. I want to capture multiple different strikes, because the premiums are pretty low, even on some leaps, like even 1 to 2 months out. In my opinion, those premiums are kind of attractive, especially if my price target can come all the way down to $5. That's very much possible in my opinion. There's a lot of quarterly reports from Mara that explain why I'm looking at lower prices. Besides, of course, mining Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is a big factor of their income revenue. But regardless, that's what I'm looking for. If this continues to come down, I am not looking at shorting. I'm just going to let it do its thing. But if we come up into this area, I want to capture multiple different shorts, one, ideally 2 months out, and just let this ride as the bear market could potentially begin. But regardless, we're not done yet, and just because the New Year's is coming up, and if we pass New Year's, as long as the world doesn't blow up, then basically, for Bitcoin, yeah, we can continue to rally. We can see scared for the next couple weeks, and then it's like January. We can even see a February rally. We can see this consolidate, do whatever, and we can still see a rally. Like anything can happen. But until if the price comes down into this zone, I am no longer just normal DCAing into Bitcoin below 100K. I am now aggressively DCAing and just going ham on Bitcoin within the zone. Oh, and especially if I mean, it's just 30K, 30, 35 ish seems like a pretty good bottom, because then on the bigger picture Bitcoin chart, the retracement overlaps with that fairly well. Like, because you want to see the retracement break when it comes to these bear market cycles. So it comes up pretty well. All of this comes up just below that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if this shorting opportunity with Mara stock ends up presenting itself. But if it does, yeah, I'm gonna take those like 2 month expiration puts on Mara, multiple different strikes, and yeah, I that's what I'm waiting on. Let's see if we get that opportunity. If not, I want to talk about Apple. I want to talk about Microsoft, Amazon. There's a lot of other stocks, a lot of stuff going on that I want to talk about just on the side of our normal Bitcoin talk. So let's go ahead and see how that goes. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.